My goodness. I think one of the biggest money mistakes I see people making when planning event is really not understanding how much the event is going to cost them. Like, I think they always think about it like, here's some fixed costs that the event is going to cost me, but they don't really always anticipate where those fixed costs can become variables costs and grow the expense budget line items way higher. And then now you're running on a deficit, which is a loss versus a profitable venture. And so I think it's, you know, especially for event organizers who are creating event experiences where they own the entire process end to end. They're building a brand, they market the people to get there, they're producing the event, and then their spread only happens at the end when all of those things go well, right? Or even if you are an event planner, that's also important to like making sure it's clear with the partner up front, like what's the pass through cost, what am I getting, and then negotiating who the team or vendors are ahead of time so your middle can really truly excel. So I think that has been by far one of the challenges when they do price, and usually they're not pricing high enough, so they don't have a structure or a offering to make sure that every deal I do, I'm making X amount. Everything I'm doing, I'm always making at least 30% on my time in exchange for that money. And so you can have a consistent, reliable forecast over the years and know what you can do with, because you need to promise, your outcomes. And so how do you make repeatable outcomes is better understanding that upfront. And so not charging enough, not anticipating what the true costs are, whether it's the variable cost of your time or things that are blowing out of proportion because you didn't like prime enough questions to better
Yeah.
understand. And then scope creep is real when you're working in
Yeah.
services. And so like being able to identify when you have a client that keeps like kind of moving the goalposts and letting them know, hey, this will cost additional money. Would you like to add an addendum to the contract?
Yeah.
Pricing it appropriately, because that is where a lot of loss for your
Yeah.
business and time really kinda disappears into the wind, but you didn't anticipate that because some of these clients, maybe you work with clients that don't do scope creep, but when it does happen, oh man, you over here killing yourself to
It
do a good
creeps,
job.
creeps. It's
It's
not
no
subtle.
games. Yeah, yeah. So I think that's what happens a lot. And then because you kind of have to be the money manager because you're owning the vision, you're owning the people that work with you, and then you're working with your customers. That is like the business. And then I think also people are not selling enough. Like you should be selling every day. Like I have a motto that if you're not selling, like, actually putting an offer in front of someone to actually buy from you, that means you did no sales today. Like, you really need to get down to, creating the proposal is not selling. Prepping for the proposal or the pre-event is not selling. Like, you really need to get to at least a quarter or 25% of your day. I always do 100 minutes or an hour and a half of pure sales per day. Because if you don't know how to sell, your business will never grow. And so I think that's a part of it too. Like people are running out of time because they don't realize there's a time limit to making
Yeah.
sure you hit certain goals per month. And so that's another thing with like money and association that people don't, it doesn't come naturally for folks, right? Like that I need to be actually booking more deals to like make more money. And then
Yes.
once you have the money because you created the offer correctly, you have a reliable team that you can even outsource the work to or get the right vendors because you have this pre-established relationship and cost of working with them because they have
Yeah.
they have good work, right? But
Yeah.
you are the sales engine until you'll be able to understand that fully, then you can multiply yourself, right? And give real true sales enablement, which is like how to really teach someone to be you, to
Yeah.
actually rely on deals and sales that other people bring on on your behalf. So I think those are I would say 4 or 5 things that I find that people don't understand well about the money moves that need to happen is like making sure there's enough pipeline to come in, managing that pipeline when it does come in, and then, like, managing scope creep. Like, very important things to, like, help you get to the money
Yeah.
and your forecast, and then managing the finance on the back end.